Welcome everyone to a new tournament, the Superbet Classic 2026, where Prag takes on Alireza Firouzja in round 1. He takes the pawn on c4, and look at the position that we have. It's already clearly better for Firouzja right out of the opening. He has amazing pawn structure here. Yes, Prag has a central pawn majority, but it's not so easy to get it moving. The rook attacks the b5 pawn now. And mind you guys, the last year's champion of the Superbet Classic was Praggnanandhaa. Rook b8, defending the pawn. Prag takes on b5, and Firouzja takes back. A takes b5. These pawns look really dangerous. And now rook to b4, blocking the pawns. Prag is blocking the pawns on the queen side, but how solid of the blockade are the rook and the knight? Immediately attacking this pawn. Now look at this. Rook takes b5, rook takes b5, knight b5, queen d5 check, a double attack, and you lose the knight. Okay, so queen comes to b1. Now even more attack. Knight to d5 played by Firouzja. He wants to trade the knights and he wants to go into a major piece endgame. Queen takes d5 check. Okay, the pawn also gets defended, and Prag goes king g1. Prag is on the defensive, and a clear idea is h5, h4, h3. Yes, he goes h5. Man, this is getting really dangerous for Praggnanandhaa. Firouzja is winning here. He also is quite okay on time. h4 played, and now look at this idea. A typical one. Play g5, 8g, h4, h3. That would be so powerful. Prag focusing in, and he plays g5. Let's go. Firouzja on the attack, and Praggnanandhaa in big trouble. Takes on g5. I can only imagine the amount of stress Prag must be feeling at this moment. Alireza Firouzja is coming at him with all he's got. h4. If you take here, then I go rook e4, and my rook is ready to swing over and deliver checkmate. So you can't play g takes h4. What's the move that he plays? Queen e1, defending here. And if you play h3, I can go f3, blocking the queen and defending this pawn. So that's the idea. He takes queen takes g5, which is possible, but even stronger would have been rook b6, swinging the rook over. But okay, queen takes g5, not a bad move. Now threatening to take e4 by Prag. Prag says that now if you take here, I could very well take back, and my pawn would no longer be hanging on e3. So rook b d8 played by Firouzja, not a good move. You know, there were better moves. Rook e6 was a very strong move, trying to build up on the attack. Rook g6 coming in, queen g4 and stuff like that. But rook b d8, and now Prag is back in the game if he finds this idea of queen e3. Offering a trade of queens. Yes, he finds it. Prag is back in the battle. Because now imagine you play your queen back to g6, b5 hangs, everything's protected, so he has to take. And Alireza says, okay, let's play the rook endgame now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns. You also have 4 pawns. But I'll first chop off one of your pawns. Now this is hanging, this is hanging. Prag can take this one or this one. Too many options. He takes on b5. Rook takes b5 taken in the position. And Alireza takes rook e3. So Alireza is now attacking the g3 pawn as well as the d4 pawn. G takes h4. And Firouzja comes in with rook takes d4. It's still very dangerous for Prag. Even though the engines say it's equal, it's not at all easy. Rook b8 check given by Praggnanandhaa. King comes up to g7, and now rook b7, attacking the f7 pawn would be pretty strong. He plays it. Rook to b7, and Firouzja now goes rook to g4 check. King goes to h2. And you're going to lose the pawn with a check. Rook takes h4. The question is that can the f7 pawn be defended? Because then black is winning. Black would have 2 extra pawns. But how do you defend that pawn? Check on g4. Okay, don't go king h1. It's a mate in one. King h2. And Prag, by the way, gets up. We finished move 40, so 30 extra minutes. King g6. But now it's time to chop off the f7 pawn. He takes with the b rook. Okay, it's still complex because the c pawn exists, and whenever there are double rooks on the board, the chances of a mating attack become higher. Also, the white king is in the corner, so Prag has to tread carefully here. I'm pretty sure Alireza Firouzja is not very happy with where things have led to here. Rook f8 played. And such defensive games can be very, very critical when you are starting off a tournament. Because if you lose game number 1, that really impacts you. Pawn to c3 played. And rook comes to f2. We go rook e4. Now threatening a mate. Rook check. King goes to h6. You can trade the rooks or not. No, trading the rooks is a draw. Look at this. I mean, that's a lost game. So you go rook f6 check, king h5. And now, oh my god, now you can take. That's so smart by Praggnanandhaa, because now you can put the rook behind the pawn. That's really, really good play. Rook c6 played, and now the pawn is not going ahead. You have to play rook e3, and suddenly the king comes in. Rook e3, king g2, king f2. King f4, you have king f2. Yes, king f2 played. And king falls, rook h3. And I guess king e2 should be completely fine. King e2. King e4. And now you maybe even king d1 works, because king d3 there's check. So he gives rook c4 check. King d5, and maybe cut the king on the 4th rank, right? Rook g4 now. Nice one. Because now you can go here calmly. And if c2, you have king d2. Yeah, plays the king to d2. Attacks the pawn on c2. Rook c3. You bring your king back to c1. And next move rook g2 and pick up the pawn. He just exchanges here, takes. Playing until bare kings there. King takes and king takes c2. A draw is agreed. And, well, Alireza Firouzja, I'm pretty sure, is not happy with how things have transpired. A big moment in the game came at a very subtle point where, actually speaking, Prag was in big trouble here. Rook b d8 was just a very loose move. If he had played rook e6 here, he would have managed to push through and win the game, maybe. And this means that Praggnanandhaa starts off with a draw, and day 1 of the Superbet Classic had draws on all the boards. There was draw between Sindarov and Diaz, Keimer and Wesley So, Anish and MVL, Caruana and Jordan, as the players head out. And there are fans who still waiting for all the top players. And that's the beauty of chess. in Bucharest, and look at Firouzja there waiting for the lady. Praggnanandhaa, I'm sure he's very happy with how the game has gone today. In fact, Praggnanandhaa will next face Jawkhir Sindarov in round 2, which is going to be a big clash after what happened at the FIDE candidates. It'll be interesting to see how Prag fares. Day 1 in the books at the Superbet Classic in Romania. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.